So CSI is a 35-year-old corrugated company. Historically, um, building sheet feeders. That's what we're known for initially, and vertical integration schemes, if you will, with local sheet plants. So, in all of our operations, we really started with the engineering and design of those operations, and almost always integrated some new technology into what we're doing. With digital, the digital revolution, or the third industrial revolution happening at the beginning of the 1980s. Our view has always been we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it. With the fourth industrial revolution and kind of the the manifestation of that in equipment and manufacturing and smart technologies, et cetera, really being almost 10 years old. Our industry tends to lag behind things, and we've seen that. But we really believed that this was achievable, both digital print and digital die cutting. And when we search the world, and clearly your Highcon company is an Israeli company, and with ties more to Europe, it really took us looking around quite a bit to find someone that we thought had a platform that was at least robust enough to start this execution. And we've been thrilled. So Visual Impact Preprint was set up to be an open market supplier of digital solutions for corrugated, both digital print and digital die cutting. We've as Finn said earlier, I mean, we certainly see a lot of opportunities in e-commerce, and a lot really changing in e-commerce with direct to customer products. So the product that you sent in to us here that came off of the Domino printer from Finn's group there is exactly the type of business that we see every day coming across from many different e-commerce or digital sales platforms, most of whom never touch the product, right? They have portals, they have stuff set up for customers, and they funnel their products to converters. And again, we were set up very early to be able to handle these things.
The feeder is a conventional feeder where it comes in on the end, and then the stacker is also conventional. But the laser and the dart system are what really separate this device in terms of flexibility and speed. You'll notice that the dart is being ruled or printed, and the turnaround time for that has been reduced by a third. So on average, jobs used to be 4 to 5 minutes to create a dart. It's down to approximately 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And the clamping mechanism that holds the dart in place is very effective. As mentioned, the feeder is traditional, what most people in our industry are used to seeing. The gripper is on the operator's side, and to control the sheet through the scoring section, which is where the dart is mounted. There are a number of sensors on the machine that help positioning. You can see the laser cut all substrates efficiently, as well as the stripping section does remove components deemed as ornamentation or decoration, and that's how you separate them. Depending on the nicking process, items just pop right out. Scores are well defined. We have no issues, and the board is of high quality. There are really no cracking issues either. In this particular case, the job presented itself quite effectively. It came in as 3 different prints. We were able to make changes pretty quickly to accommodate it, because originally we only thought we were receiving 1 print. We converted everything on the machine, so 450 sheets within a very short period of time.
We run 2 shifts, 5 days a week, and we are effectively full at most times on that equipment. You can always try to squeeze something in or run into a weekend, and ultimately be in a 3rd shift. But we see a second device being necessary for each facility, and certainly are getting ready for the again, faster, wider next versions that are going to be offered by Highcon. Digital is here. It's coming. It will come to this industry, and it will replace analog. It has to. It has to. It allows us access to products and orders. That order that you sent over that we just saw run, a 300 piece bespoke one-time package digitally printed or printed on both sides probably never happens without digital, right?
Right.
You can't afford to buy all those print plates for 300 or 3,000 pieces, and you certainly can't do it quickly. And for us, those are the repeat customers that the e-commerce customers have mid-user customers who are in between them and the end customers who are just offering these products that otherwise couldn't be offered before. And that is truly still the headwind, is that the lack of understanding of many end users that this is actually a possibility. And it's those possibilities that are continuing to grow, the awareness of that are continuing to grow, so that digital die cutting and printing are absolutely going to become more and more requirements of I see any sheet plant, ultimately. We have business that we wouldn't have if it wasn't for the digital capabilities. It's, as you can imagine, that tends to be higher margin business if they can't go anywhere else for it. We have reasonable pricing, I believe, but it's just additive. It's another tool right now for any converting facility to have for their customers. And as more and more people become capable in these areas, it's a tool that people are going to be requiring. But for us right now, we set out to be an open market supplier, and we are supplying everywhere. From New Mexico, we're supplying into the New England states, and we're supplying truckload, quantities into the Pacific Northwest. So, and all, into Mexico and all over the place. So these products, especially the e-commerce stuff, they tend to be going out via FedEx or some other shipping location. So it doesn't matter where you start from generally.
Yes, and there again, that's the benefit of being in a 100% digital facility. What we consider normal, other people would struggle to process. And the jobs that we process on a daily basis, we turn in a very, very short period of time, as opposed to waiting 3 to 5 days for a cutting die, or 5 to 6 or 7 days for full-on 4-color process printing plates. And that doesn't include all the pre-press that goes with it. On the Highcon, pretty much we run everything that is intricate and fits on a 30 by 40 sheet conventionally, which we're used to seeing. Components for full displays, the body would be run on a zoomed, and the headers and the shelves would be converted on the Highcon. Same thing with the piece that's up here. The body of it was conventionally run, but everything else was run on the Highcon. And that allowed us to process an item very quickly and make changes on the fly as required for either assembly or for bespoke items that we receive. On the Highcon, typically the minimum quantity is anywhere from 500, unless the 500 sheets, unless the customer is willing to pay for the additional setup charge. And then we will run up to easily 3,000 to 5,000 sheets before we start talking about conventional cutting. But most of our items are repeat items made to order. So let's say an order was for 20,000 sheets or 20,000 pieces. It's broken up over a period of time, and you're able to run 5,000 or 2,000. So the customer doesn't have to receive a massive quantity at once and store it. So it's very flexible, and it allows them to make changes, which conventionally you can't. When you're stuck holding a large quantity order and then there's a product change, then that just would be sent to recycling. Well, in this particular case, we have a lot of flexibility that other people do not.
From our standpoint, everything, we met with Highcon a while ago, and we trusted what we saw. We knew the technology was undeniable. And then it's just a matter of whether or not that company is going to continue to execute on what they say they're going to execute on. And we've seen gains from day one, as far as improvements, as far as staying with the equipment, helping us through, get past what is effectively version 1 of this platform, and get ready to move into faster, wider, more efficient, as Mike said, quicker setups. All the things that you look at and say, well, this is good enough for right now, but here's what we want to improve. we've seen, the benefits there, and it's allowed us to do what we wanted to do as far as it pertains to the digital die cutting side of things.
Virtual packaging, we've owned the company since 2004. We started off with just prototypes, one piece to a couple hundred pieces. It's what we specialized in. A customer might have 20 designs and they only want one of each. And then, maybe they pick the one they like the most. And now they want 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces, and we'll provide them with that. And then, after they get into a store, after they finish their focus groups and they want to move on with the product, they'll ask us for 10, 20,000 pieces. And in the past, before you guys, we were unable to do that. And we would basically tell our customers, yeah, I'm sorry, we can't fulfill that. We make everything here by hand. Well, after saying that enough times, we invested in some new technology, Highcon Beam being one of them. And now we can take those orders. And so we do have customers now that start with us from the prototyping phase to the sales sample phase to the final phase, which is complete production. And one of the unique things that we're able to do is we don't have a minimum order. And some of our customers are utilizing what is referred to as just-in-time packaging, where maybe you just order what you need for this month, and then next month and the month after that, causing repeat sales orders, which are great for us. But at the same time, it gives the customer just what they need without having to utilize warehouse spacing. So the types of customers we have, basically, there's so many different types. We have your mom and pops who just came up with a cool product and they really wanted to bring it to market and they don't know anything about packaging, and they call us, and we teach them all we can, help them with their first stage, help them with their second stage, third stage, fourth stage, to where they really start to understand what they're doing. And then they'll go to market. And we've had fun stories in the past of a mom and pop starting with us and 2 years later getting bought out by a giant CPG company. And it's always fun to watch, like, the first time someone makes it into Costco and, they're celebrating on the phone. They're so thankful. They're so excited. It's a fun thing to be a part of. And then we do have the large CPG companies, and a lot of the times we meet them at trade shows. We go to, anywhere between 7 and 10 shows a year. It really just depends location and time of the year, and when we can send people to those shows. But yeah, we get a lot of customers from referrals, people who are happy with us in the past, or, if someone's at a trade show showing their product and it's word of mouth, like, hey, where did you get that from? Oh, I called Virtual Packaging. I've been using them for years. And we get a lot of referrals. Probably right now we average about 50 new customers a month. So, I mean, it's great to see that, referrals are and word of mouth and, positive impact of the company are leading to new customers. But at the same time, we do prospecting and we do get some traffic through our website, people reaching out, asking for more information. Yeah, so on full production runs, our standard turn is 10 days from approval, PDF approval, or physical approval if you prefer that. And we do offer any amount up to 2-day turn. You will do 9-day, 8-day, 7-day turn. It's based off customer preference. And we have a lot of orders in the 1,000 to 5,000 piece range. We just recently got a pretty big order of 90,000 pieces. And, we've done some in the 50,000, 30,000. It's a wide spectrum of ranges, but we also get some for, 300, 250. We're able to satisfy all of those with the new digital technology we invested in last year, the Highcon Beam being one of them. Yeah, we run one really long shift. So our team loves it because they get overtime. Obviously, we have to manage that part, but Yeah, it depends on how busy we are each day. Our production team comes in as early as 6 a.m. and when we're really busy, they're here until 10 p.m. It's you know, eventually we'll probably look into shifts as capacity fills up. And I'm sure you guys see the numbers every month. Uh, the amount of jobs we're doing over there are growing. It's just it's taken a little more time than we expected, but you know, we had some unique circumstances happen this year that have caused a little slowdown. But it's been nice to see sales picking up over there on the full production runs. Yeah, our quality is perceived to be very good. Like I said, we have customers who, for instance, we have a few customers who order 2,000 boxes a month, and they just they love the quality. We ship it straight to them, and I mean, I think the fact that they order 2,000 to 4,000 a month every month kind of speaks to, you know, the quality is good. They enjoy the product and they continue placing the same order, and it's just a repeat order. I mean, it's uh, just small CBD boxes, and it's great for tradition or for digital machines because, you know, if you can fit 20 boxes to a board, 10,000 pieces is 500 sheets, and to do that on traditional, it's just it costs an arm and a leg. But the quality is very good. We even have some manufacturers use us for the shorter runs that they just don't want to do. And, you know, they'll sign off on the quality. They'll actually come to our facility, look at the press proofs, sign off right there. We'll make them all for them and just ship them straight to them, or we'll ship it to their customer blind, you know, not put our address or our company information on it. And, you know, to have another manufacturer trust you with their name, you know, a customer's
Yeah.
calling them for the order. They don't know we're making it. So the quality has been very good. Your product in your store reflects your brand, your image. And, you know, with the thicknesses of board that you can play with, you know, different perforations might make for a better presentation on the shelf. If you've got, you know, a tray that holds 10 of your products, you know, you don't want the guy at the grocery store who's setting it on display to rip your design, to where your brand doesn't look as good as it possibly can. And with some of these unique perforations, you can almost guarantee a perfect tear every time, or a perfect setup every time. And it just makes it easier on the people in the store, and it makes it, you know, you feel better as the customer sending it to the store knowing it's going to be set up and it's going to look great on the shelf. But yeah, we are extremely happy with our investment, and you know, the machines are now running every single day. We started at the beginning of this with, you know, two or three jobs a week. You know, it was new to us, and we just got into this space. People have known us as prototyping, and I mean, for instance, this week we have over 20 jobs on that side of the business. So, and it's growing, and I mean, that's probably been the standard or average that's been on the board for the last couple of weeks. So it's growing month by month, and you know, we're seeing a bigger return on our investment. And uh, I mean, we kind of expected it to take time. We just didn't expect some of the bumps in the road that 2020 presented.